Hello, Internet Drummers. Today we're going to answer the question, how long should drumsticks last? Now, honestly, I get this question more from parents than from students. So if you are a parent, welcome to the channel. And if you yourself are a drummer who seems to be breaking a lot of drumsticks, then stick around to the end of the video. I'm going to give you some tips to increase the life of your drumsticks. So first of all, drumsticks are supposed to break. If you have a standard drum set and wooden drumsticks, of course they're going to break. Drumsticks are made of wood and your cymbals and rims are made of metal. And in case you've never seen a saw before, metal cuts through wood. You can see this happening in real time if you use painted drumsticks. Here is a pair of drumsticks fresh out of the box, still in the sleeve. I'm going to use these on the drum kit for just a little bit. And then through the magic of video editing, this is what they look like now. You can see the cuts in the paint from where the stick was hitting the cymbal. And this is actually okay. If you hit any two things together often enough, eventually one of them is going to break. And you'd much rather break a $10 pair of drumsticks than one of your cymbals, which might cost hundreds of dollars. Now, how long until a stick breaks depends on a lot of factors. If you only use your sticks on the practice pad, they can last theoretically forever. I've had this pair of sticks for about 10 years, and I only use them on the practice pad, so they basically look the same as the day that I bought them. If you're using sticks on a drum kit, they can last anywhere from an hour to a few months. That all depends on how much you play, how hard you hit, and to some extent, just dumb luck. I remember being in college in a jazz band rehearsal with a brand new pair of sticks, and in the middle of one of the tunes, half the stick just went flying across the room. To this day, I still don't know what happened. Maybe I bought a bad pair of sticks, maybe somebody was pranking me and sawed it in half before rehearsal. I just don't know. But from my experience and the experience of other drummers I've talked to, that should happen like twice in your life. If you're super unlucky, maybe 3 times. If you're breaking sticks the day you buy them more often than that, something is wrong. Now, aside from that one experience, I almost never break a drumstick. Usually when I retire a stick, it's because I've cracked the middle doing a rim shot or because part of the tip has fallen off. In both cases, the drumstick is still usable, though it will respond a bit differently on the drum set. If you've cracked the stick in the middle, you should replace it as soon as possible so you don't give yourself an accidental splinter. But if you're in the middle of the gig, it's perfectly fine to keep using it so long as you're careful. If your sticks are not lasting weeks or even months, you can do a number of things to increase the life of your drumsticks. First, buy quality sticks. If you are getting your sticks from a big box store that's 10 pairs for $10, just know you're getting what you pay for. Companies like Vic Firth, ProMark, Vader, Innovative Percussion have strict quality control standards both for the wood and for the manufacturing process. That makes the sticks less likely to break. No-name companies are basically selling you sawdust that has been glued into the shape of a drumstick. Of course, those sticks are going to break more often. The second thing you can do to increase the life of your drumsticks is to not hit so hard. Now, usually when we break a drumstick, it's because we have applied too much external force. Now, trigger warning for anybody who hated science class, but force equals mass times acceleration. And acceleration is simply the change in velocity, or for our purposes, the change in speed. So if we want less force on the drumstick, we either have to make the mass smaller, which we can't do because it's the same drumstick, or we make the acceleration smaller, which means the drumstick needs to be traveling more slowly when it hits the set. I know it can be fun to beat the tar out of the drums. It's one of the great things about the drums. And certainly there are styles of music and types of performances where you need to hit the drums as hard as you can. You should always do what's ever appropriate for the musical situation you're in. But if you're just jamming in your basement or your rehearsal space, and you want to increase the life of your drumsticks, maybe try hitting a little less enthusiastically. The final thing you can do is to change the angle at which the stick is hitting the cymbals. I've seen drummers raise their cymbals as high as they'll go, so they're playing like this. If you look at the angle of impact, it's almost like you're trying to chop the stick in half. If you lower your cymbals, you have the option of striking so that the tip of the stick hits the top of the cymbal. If you do this, it's much less likely that you'll break a stick. I know that this technique changes both the look and the sound, so if that's unacceptable to you, keep your cymbals high. You do you. But if your main goal is to increase the life of your drumsticks, maybe think about lowering your cymbals. Okay, that's all for today. Remember, drumsticks will break, but if you buy good quality sticks and monitor how you're hitting the kit, they can actually last quite a long time. Do you have anything you do to increase the life of your drumsticks? If you have any tips I haven't talked about, leave them in the comments below to help out the community. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more content just like this. And as always, thanks for watching.